Hello everyone, welcome to Career Launcher, and this is the third session of CLAT 2027, and here we are going to learn that how we can score a reasonable number of marks in QT section. So if you learn how to approach a QT set, then your score can improve marginally, and you can get into a little better college than you are getting. So basically this is what we are going to do in these sessions in QT. So let's start with the first set. What does it say? There are 4 bakeries A, B, C and D in a locality, and all the cookies purchased by the people are sold at these 4 bakeries B and C have 15% and 35% of total market share. Okay. So let's understand that what is the approach that we are going to take to solve these kind of questions. So basically we have 4 bakeries. So I would say A, B, C and D. There are 4 bakeries. Okay. And we have total number of, let's say we have total. So out of total, what amount A is selling? So it says B is selling 15%. Okay. So that is B is selling 15%, C is selling 35%. So 50% is done. So remaining 50% should be divided among between A and D. Okay. Now it says the sale of A and D are in the ratio of 2:3. Okay. So 50%, if I break 50% in the ratio of 2:3, I am going to get 20% and I am going to get 30%. Okay. So this is the overall distribution of cookies that we have. Okay. Now it says after that, each bakery sells cookies in any 2 flavors. Okay. Chocolate and butterscotch. Okay. So we got 2 type of cookies. One is going to be chocolate and next one is going to be butterscotch. So I would say butterscotch. Okay. Now A sells 15% of butterscotch, sorry, chocolate, and C sells 25% of chocolate cookies. I'm currently writing down the information and that's it. So out of 100% of the chocolate cookies, I have distributed 40%. Now remaining are 60%. Okay. Now it says next statement is D's sale of chocolate cookies is double that of B. Okay. So one thing I know that D's chocolate cookies plus B's chocolate cookies amount for 60%. And then I am going to say that D is twice of B. So I am going to place 2B over here, 2B plus B, 3B, 3B is equal to 60%. So B comes out to be 20% and D comes out to be 40%. Okay. So these are the information that are given in the question, and after that, what does it say? It is also known that butterscotch cookies sold by A are 110 and butterscotch cookies sold by B is going to be 30. Okay, so this is what we are going to have. Now let's say this is chocolate, this is total. Okay. Now 110 plus, that is I'm talking about A is selling 110 butterscotch plus 15% of C, that is chocolate cookies, and that is equal to 20% of total. That's what A is doing. Now if I'm going to look at B, B is selling 30 plus 20% of chocolate, and that is equal to 15% of total. That stands for B. Okay, so basically total B is selling 15%, that is equal to 20% of chocolate plus 30. And same thing I'm going to talk about A, 20% of total is equal to 15% of chocolate plus 110. Now I got 2 equations, 2 variables. Can I solve? Yes. I'm going to multiply this by 3. I'm going to multiply this by 4. So what I am going to get I will be getting, or I can do otherwise as well. I will say 330 plus 45% of C is equal to 60% of total. And the second equation becomes 120 plus 80% of C, and that comes out to be 60% total. Okay. Now I'm going to subtract. So once I'm going to subtract, what I am going to get, this cancels out. I am going to get 210 plus this comes out to be 35% of, sorry, minus of total of this is equal to 0. Now this tells us 35% of C is equal to 210. Cancel out, this comes out to be C. So C comes out to be 600. So total number of cookies that we are having is 600. 15% of 600 is going to be 90. Then 20% is going to be 120. This 25% is going to be 150 and 40% is going to be 240. This is the total bifurcation that we have. Okay. Now what about total? This is 200. So 20% is equal to 200. So total comes out to be 1000. Now 15% is going to be 150. 35% is going to be 350. 30% is going to be 300. Okay. Out of 300, this is 240, so this is going to be 60. Out of 350, this is 150, so this is going to be 200. And this sum comes out to be 400, and this is what we are having. And that's it. And once we have reached this point, it means my table is done. I got all the possible values that were required. Now can I solve the questions? Now let's look. What is the ratio of chocolate cookies sold by C to chocolate cookies sold by D? Okay. So sold by C, chocolate cookies sold by C to D. C is 25%, D is 40%. I'm talking about chocolate. Did I? C to D and oh, so chocolate cookies sold by C is 150 and total cookies sold by D are going to be 300. So basically I would say that is going to be 150 to 300 and answer comes out to be 1:2. That is option D. Okay. Now let's look at second question. Chocolate cookies sold by A and B together is what percent more than butterscotch cookies sold by C? Okay. Chocolate cookies sold by A and B together are 90 plus 120, that is 210, are what percent more than butterscotch? So what is the difference? That is 10. And how many butterscotch we are selling? That is 200. So that comes out to be 5%. So answer of this question is going to be total. Oh, this is not this. I'm talking about total cookies. So total cookies, not chocolate ones. So total cookies are going to be what? 350. And butterscotch cookies by C are going to be 200. So there are 150 more out of 200. So answer comes out to be 75%. I hope I am clear on this. Yes, no? If bakery A sold X plus 25 chocolate cookies, okay, so X plus 25 chocolate cookies and bakery Y sold X minus 10, okay. So chocolate cookies A is 90, B is 110, okay. A is 90 and B is what? Chocolate cookies are 120, okay, okay. Now what does it say? It says A sold X plus 25. So that is going to be X plus 25, and that gives us X is equal to 65. And that is equal to Y minus 10, and that gives us Y is equal to 130. Right. So what is the ratio of X is to Y? I can directly see that is going to be option A. Okay. Now the next one, the total number of butterscotch cookies sold by all the bakeries together. So total number of butterscotch cookies that are sold are going to be 400. Is what percent uh, greater or less than chocolate cookies that are sold? Okay, so butterscotch are 400, chocolate cookies are 600. So difference comes out to be 200. Okay. Now when I'm going to look for uh, percentage change. Okay, so in percentage change, what you are going to take in denominator, whether it is 600 or 400. Now, in the denominator, which value you take, whichever value comes after then. So after then we have chocolate cookies. So that in the denominator, you are going to have 600 into 100, and that comes out to be 1 by 3. That is 33.33%. And this is the answer. Okay. Now, next, look at the next one. The number of butterscotch cookies sold by bakery B and D together is what percent chocolate cookies sold by B and D together. Okay. Butterscotch is what percent? Okay. So butterscotch are B and D are how many? That is going to be 30 plus 60. I would say that is 90. And total number of chocolate are 360. So butterscotch is 90. So I am going to say 90 is what percent of 360. So that directly I would say that is 90 upon 360 into 100, and that comes out to be 1 by 4. So that is going to be option D, that is 25%. Clear? Anyone has any doubt in this particular set, or everything is clear? Now the next set that I'm going to take is one of the students has asked to take that particular set, and that is of previous year's CLAT. So let me take that set and solve that one. So this set is clear to everyone, yes or no? So if anyone expects me to solve some previous year CLAT sets, that how we can solve a little easily, so do let me know and I'll help you out to solve that particular set. Now let's start this one. Health insurance plays a vital role in ensuring financial protection and access to quality health care. In India, however, the extent and nature of health insurance coverage vary significantly between urban and rural areas. While urban population often have better access to organized insurance schemes. Hello, CLAT aspirant. Employer provided coverage and awareness about health policies, rural populations face challenges such as limited outreach to insurance scheme and inadequate infrastructure and lower awareness level. This urban-rural divide in health insurance coverage highlights the broader issue of healthcare inequality, making it essential to analyze the factors contributing to this gap and explore strategies for more inclusive health protection. A state level health survey was conducted. Okay. So this is the set you asked for, right? Right, lad aspirant? This is the set we are looking for, right? So now how we are going to solve this set quickly. So this is what you have asked for, that how I'm going to approach this set. Look at the numbers are not very good. So now let me solve this one and let's see how. I'm not sure that how did I do last time, but this time let me try. The survey covered 180,000 adults across urban and rural areas. Urban residents Uh, just give me a moment. I think there is something that happened. Okay. Is my screen still visible? I am not sure what is happening. Okay. I think I'm facing a little issue. Just give me a moment. Let me reshare my screen. Okay, we are back. Survey covered 180,000 adults across urban and rural areas. Urban residents formed 55% of the sample, that is 99,000 people, while rural made of 45%, that is 81,000. Okay. In each area, coverages was classified under four heads: public scheme, private insurance, employer provided coverage, and uninsured. In urban areas, public coverage accounted for 28%. Okay. So, what I am going to do now? Okay. So, what I am going to do now? I am going to do very simple thing. In urban, I am going to talk about two things. One is urban, second is your rural. So in urban, I am going to assume a total of 1 lakh people. In rural, I am going to take 80,000 people because I think I'm going to have a better calculation if I'm going to use these numbers, and then I'm going to solve. So, which is the first one? That is public coverage. So I have public coverage, and that is what, 28% of 1 lakh. I would say that is 28,000. I am not taking going with 99,000. I am going with only 1 lakh. Okay. Private was 20%, so I would say private, and that was 22%, so 22,000. Employer 18%, that is employer was 18,000. And then what do we have? Then we have uninsured, and remain, that is remaining 32,000, and this is what we have. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to go to rural. Okay. So rural public coverage is 35%. So how we can calculate 35%? So 40% is going to be 32,000. 10% is 8,000. So 5% is 4,000. So 35% comes out to be 28,000. Okay. Then we have private at 10%. So private is 10%, that is 8,000. Employer is 8%. Okay, so employer is 8% means 10% minus 2%. So 8,000 minus 2%. 2% means 1,600. 1% is 800. So 2%. So that comes out to be 6,400. And then we are going to have remaining 47%. So 47% I'm going to take it as 50% minus 3%. So 50% comes out to be 40,000, and 3%, 1% is 800. So 3% becomes 2,400. So 37,600, and this is what we have. Agreed on this? On these values? Okay, so I know I have done a very small approximation, so my actual values are very close to these numbers. Now, what is the first question? I have absolutely no clue because I don't like the numbers. Fine. Hello, Ishika. Now, by what percent the number of uninsured in rural higher than in uninsured in urban? Okay. By what percent? Uninsured is higher in rural than uninsured in urban. Okay. Okay. What is the difference we are going to see? That is 5,600. Divide by after then, what do we have? After then we have urban. So divide by 32,000. Okay. So what is 10% of 32,000? That is 3,200. 20% is 6,400. And is this number is 56%. It means my answer should be little smaller than 20%. Agreed? So smaller than 20%, which answer we are getting? That is option A. Clear? Not going to solve completely. If the total population grow by 5% and everything else remains same, it means everything increases by 5%. How many additional privately insured people will increase? Okay. So how many privately insured people we have now? That is 22,000 plus 8,000, that is 30,000, right? So 30,000, and if population is increasing by 5% and every value stays same, it means those uh, privately insured people will also be increased by 5%. So that is the increment is going to be 1,500. Which value is closest to 1,500? That is option A. That's it. Got the answer. The total number of employer covered adults in. So employer covered adults are, I am going to get 18,000 plus 64,000, that is 24,400. Which value is closest to 24,400? That I can say that is option C. That's it. Understood? Now, what percent of all insured adults are publicly insured? Okay. All insured adults. Okay. So in this one, so I am calculating uninsured. That is 32,000. This value comes out to be close to how many? 38,000, right? So I am going to get, this is going to be 70,000 people are uninsured. So how many people are insured? That is going to be 1,10,000, right? And out of these 1,10,000, how many people are mm, publicly insured? So public coverage is 56,000. So I am having 56,000 out of 110,000, right? So the value should be close to 50% or not, right? And this value is actually little greater than 50%. So my answer is going to be option C. Clear? And what percent of total surveyed population was insured? So 70,000 people are not insured. So 110,000 people are insured out of 180,000. So the value is going to be little greater than 60%. Which option? Option C. Understood? समझ आया? हाँ ना? If you know the table of 18, 18 is 108, right? So this is 108 means 60% plus 1%, 61% around. So do you think this is a set where you should take a lot of time? Now, question number one, I think that is a little tricky one because my values are very odd. But let me check whether I can get the answer of this one as well. That ratio of uninsured. So uninsured are 32,000. In question 10, okay, okay, okay. Now, CLAT aspirant, your argument, I actually like your argument. You are saying that why I am taking option C, why not I am taking option B, because option B is also very close to 50. Okay, very nice. Now, I have two things. This is 56,000. This is 110,000, right? So this value 55,000 is actually 50% of 110,000. Agreed on this? Yes, no? So my answer should be little greater than 50%, not smaller. So that's why I'm not going for option B, I'm going for option C. Because my value should be greater than 50%, little greater than 50%. Make sense? Okay. Are we clear? Okay. Now, your second question is also very valid, that 56,000 we have assumed. Okay. Now, I'll tell you one thing about approximation. How much approximation we have taken? Is it a lot or is it a little bit? Have I converted 93,000 to 1 lakh, or I have converted 99,000 to 1 lakh? Very little, right? So if you check the actual numbers now, you won't find a lot of difference. You are going to find a very little difference in the actual numbers and the numbers that I have got. थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे होगा, वो रहेगा, क्योंकि मैंने 99,000 को 100 लेके किया. सो इसीलिए मैं कोई भी आंसर निकालूंगा ना, सो आई एम प्रीटी मच श्योर कि मेरा आंसर जो है वो एकदम ही क्लोज है. यू आर गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? सो मेरा आंसर जो आ रहा है, वो द आंसर आई एम गेटिंग, दैट इज, आई थिंक दैट इज 50.7, 50.8, समथिंग लाइक दिस. तुम 56,000 डिवाइड बाई 110,000 कर लो, यू आर गोइंग टू गेट क्लोज टू व्हाट, क्लोज टू 50.7 और 50.8 के आसपास आएगा. ठीक है, यू आर गोइंग टू गेट वेरी क्लोज आंसर. ठीक है, और तुम किसी भी क्वेश्चन में निकाल लो जो मैंने एक्यूरेटली निकाला हुआ है, देखना सारी वैल्यूज इन क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 में 18.75 है. तुम ये अप्रोक्सीमेट वैल्यूज निकाल लोगे, यू आर गोइंग टू गेट अ वैल्यू बिटवीन 18 टू 19 इन क्वेश्चन नंबर 7. अप्रोक्सीमेशन है ही नहीं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 8, लुक एट द अप्रोक्सीमेशन, दैट इज what, that is 6. क्वेश्चन नंबर 9, हाउ मच अप्रोक्सीमेशन वी आर गेटिंग? 100. 1,80,000 में 100 का अप्रोक्सीमेशन आ रहा है, दैट इज एक्सेप्टेबल. ठीक है ना? ओके. नाउ question number 1, can we solve this? Yes, definitely. Now the ratio of insured adults in urban and rural is, uninsured is 32,000, right? 32,000 एंड डिनोमिनेटर में मैं 38,000 ले लेता हूँ. ठीक है. सो वैल्यू अगर ये 40 भी होगा, सो वैल्यू जो होनी चाहिए 0.8 से थोड़ी सी बड़ी होनी चाहिए. एग्रीड ऑन दिस? क्लैट एस्पिरेंट 997 हो तो भी कर लेना अप्रोक्सीमेट, डजंट मेक अ डिफरेंस, यू आर गोइंग टू गेट द आंसर राइट. ठीक है. सो बेसिकली माय ऑप्शन शुड बी लिटिल ग्रेटर देन 0.8. ठीक है, यहाँ पे तो न्यूमरेटर ही ज्यादा है, ये तो 1 से बड़ा, ये तो हो नहीं सकता. ये भी 1 से बड़ा, ये भी नहीं हो सकता. 65 divided by 82, this comes out to be close to 0.8. This looks a good answer. ठीक है. This is 477 divided by this, ये 500 by 700 कर लो तो 0.7 के आसपास आ रहा है, मतलब ये भी नहीं हो सकता. So I am directly going to get my answer as option C. Understood? अब तुम्हें समझ में आया कि क्लैट में why I was saying that this is a easy set, not a difficult one. Because if you are going to solve this set by taking 99,000, दिस इज नॉट ए सेट जो मैं करूंगा कभी भी, ठीक है. इफ आई कैन कन्वर्ट दैट 99,000 into 1 lakh, द होल सेट विल बिकम अ पीस ऑफ केक फॉर मी. सारे फट हो जाएंगे. क्लियर? So in next week, we are going to have another session. I'm not sure. It is Raksha Bandhan, but again, if you have any particular set that you would like to have, kindly do let me know. ठीक है, एक बार वो ड्रॉप अ मैसेज इन द कमेंट बॉक्स. आई विल पिक योर सेट्स. ठीक है, अगर एक से ज्यादा सेट आए और मैं इस वीक नहीं ले पाया तो अगले वीक ले लूंगा. सो विच एवर सेट यू आर टेलिंग मी टू कवर, आई कवर इन द यूट्यूब सेशन. मेक सेंस? तुम लोगों को जो सेट लगता है कि सर यू नीड टू डू दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर सेट, आई पिक दैट सेट. ठीक है ना? So with this, let's wind up today's session, and if you have any doubt, do let me know. And thank you. किसी को कुछ पूछना है? चलिए. ऋषिका, your math is weak. Understand the basics. ऋषिका, एक बात मैं बोलूंगा, percentage, average, ratio. These three things, work on these three things. Remember the table still 20, and Rishika, you are good to go. Attend all the sessions that I am taking, and उसमें से तुम्हारे जो जो डाउट होते जाए वो पूछती जाना. एंड आई मेक श्योर कि क्लैट में कम से कम तुम्हारे 7 से 8 क्वेश्चन तो हो जाए. एटलीस्ट आउट ऑफ 12, एटलीस्ट 7 questions you will be able to solve, and that's what I expect everyone to do. Somewhere around 8 to 10 questions out of 12. मैं ये नहीं कहता कि 12 में 12 करना चाहिए. That is for that you need to spend a lot of time. लेकिन 8-9 questions. ठीक है? So read the basics of a percentage, ratio, average, and tables till 20, and that's it. Not more. ठीक है? क्लैट है, वैसे भी मैथ एक्सटेंसिव पेपर नहीं है, बट ठीक है, you got my point. So that's it. Take care. Bye bye.